Welcome back to Need for Speed Unbound. This is day 3 of new information, and today is a super special day because today we got our first look at Need for Speed Unbound gameplay and customization. And in today's video, we're gonna talk about everything, break down everything you need to know. And as always, if you haven't already checked out my previous 2 videos that I made on Need for Speed Unbound, I'll link to those in the description down below. I would highly suggest you watch those ones before you watch this one, just so you're caught up to speed. And just a little reminder, every single week, Need for Speed Unbound is gonna be sharing new information, new screenshots, and more gameplay. So if you want to see any of that, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because as soon as it comes out, I'll be making some videos here for you guys. So be on the lookout for them. So without further ado, let's jump into the Need for Speed gameplay and customization. So unfortunately, the gameplay we got was actually a very small little snippet, but that small little snippet actually tells us a whole bunch for what you can do in the game, how free roam works, how customization works, and so on. So right out of the gate, one of the things you can probably notice in the gameplay is there is a little symbol above your car. That is what Need for Speed is calling a player tag. At the start of the game, you won't even have a player tag. It's up to you to go through the game, earn player tags, and then if you want, you can apply them to your car to push your creativity and your style. You notice how I said if you want to use these things? It's just that. It is an if you want to use them. These are simply cosmetic things that you can put on your car to show off your style. If you don't want to, you don't need to use them. Last week on my Need for Speed videos that I made, I got a bunch of comments from you guys being like, the game looks really cool, but can you turn off the effects? And yes, you can. The devs actually confirmed it in a tweet right here and basically said, you just don't need to run them. However, if you do want to use these player tags, they're actually pretty cool because you can go around the world and tag the world like graffiti and share your style with other players, and then other players can kind of find your graffiti tag, which is pretty cool. For me personally, I'm kind of on the fence about these whole player tag things. Like on one hand, they're kind of a little bit gimmicky, but on the other hand, they could be really cool if they've got like some cool logos or symbols in there. We'll have to see when the game actually comes out, but I imagine as the life of Need for Speed Unbound goes on, the devs are probably going to add more logos and symbols to the game, so we'll have to see, I guess. In the little gameplay snippet we got, we can see common, rare, and epic player tags. Like I said though, as you go through the game, you're gonna need to earn these player tags if there's something you're gonna want to use, like this one, which is an epic player tag. You've got to complete qualifier 2. What that is, I don't know just yet. We're gonna need to wait and see, but you're gonna need to unlock them. And let's be honest, since this is EA at the end of the day, there's probably also gonna be a battle pass for you to unlock more of these driving effects / player tags, or even just straight up microtransactions so you can buy these things. EA actually refuses to answer any questions about like microtransactions just yet, but that's probably gonna be in the game. Again, we'll have to wait and see. Honestly though, as cool as like the player tags are, I don't think we're honestly gonna spend too much time messing around with them. I think all of us can agree visual customization is king in this game. So let's talk about that, and specifically this Nissan S14 and how mind-blowing the customization is on this car. I mean, right out of the gate last week, we saw this Nissan S14 and it was a completely different version of the car. When it was going head-to-head with A$AP Rocky, it had a really interesting front grille that I absolutely loved. This week, we're seeing the same car, but a completely different take on it. This one has like almost like this race car style front bumper with canards all over it. It's even got canards on the side skirts, which honestly is something I've never even seen before. It's also got a massive rear wing on the thing, which I absolutely love, and it's got a chopped off roof with like an exoskeleton roll cage in there. It looks insane. One of the other more subtle things that I noticed is it's also got different rear taillights that also look super good. Some of the other subtle things I noticed in this gameplay snippet is that yes, tire letters are coming back, so you'll be able to swap the tires, probably with other brands like you could in Need for Speed Heat. And yes, you can also customize your headlights. It's nice to see that returning too. On the topic of tire letters, there are also white walls in this game that you can actually see on this new screenshot featuring a Ford Crown Victoria. And yes, spoiler alert, the Crown Vic is another car that we can actually drive and customize. In this particular screenshot, it doesn't have as crazy customization as that Nissan S14, but it is still super cool with those white wall tires, a super subtle, really nice looking diffuser, no rear wing at all, and again, just looks awesome. Oh, and you can also notice that the NOS color is changing. I assume it's related to the player tags, but it's not confirmed, so I don't want to say it just yet. But anyways, this thing's got like pink NOS color, which looks really cool. Long story short, I think between the combination of the actual visual customization and those driving effects, I think we're gonna be able to make some absolutely mind-blowing cars in this game. However, there is one more thing I wanted to talk about: performance customization and car classes. The developers actually confirmed that car classes were coming to the game, but today we actually got our first look at what those car classes are. Or at least I think we did. Because while we're doing some customization, if you look up into the top right, you can notice that it says B next to your money. Could that be a B-class car? Later into the gameplay, you can actually see that B changes into an S. There's also a little bit of a bar underneath the letters to maybe show you how far through that particular class you are. I would assume it probably works similarly to like Forza, where you've got C, B, A, and S class. Don't know if there's going to be any more than that. We'll have to see. Regardless, though, it looks pretty cool if that's actually performance customization in Need for Speed Unbound. Oh yeah, the last thing I'm going to say about Need for Speed Unbound customization is this. One of my friends, Dom Dub, who recreates Fast and Furious cars in real life, actually sent me a voice message on Instagram last week confirming that it was his Mitsubishi Eclipse with the RoboCar body kit on it that was scanned for Need for Speed Unbound. Take a listen for yourself.
Hey, what's up, man? I don't know if you saw my post this morning, but well, the reason why my Eclipse was being 3D scanned 2 years ago was the Need for Speed. The funny thing, if you look at the Eclipse from the game, from the press release, and you look at the roof scoop, you'll see it's like sagging in the middle, and that's because my car was like that. So it's actually super funny.
Dom actually went on to say that the developers captured everything about his Mitsubishi Eclipse, from the entire body kit, including the rear wing, to the livery itself and the wheels. Obviously, it's not confirmed, but the developers have everything for a Fast and Furious car. Anyways, that's enough about customization. Let's move it on to the races themselves. In this gameplay, we can actually see a little bit about the HUD, which I think looks pretty good. One thing to note is the developers, for some reason, are still using like a percentage-based system when you're driving around in like a lap race, which I've never personally liked, but there you go. Overall, though, I think the HUD actually looks really nice. I really like how you can see like player pictures on the mini-map. Another nice little detail. Last but not least, the final thing I was able to notice in this gameplay snippet was heat levels. Yes, they are confirmed and they're coming back for Need for Speed Unbound. You can actually see a tiny little snippet of heat level 2 as the S14 is drifting through the corner. You probably also noticed up in the top right-hand corner, you can also see your player money. You've got green money and red money. I assume the green money is like safe money that you've got in the bank, and the red money, that is what you've used to like place your buy-ins and what is currently on the line. So if you get busted, you're probably gonna lose all of that red money. And that is everything I was able to notice in the Need for Speed Unbound gameplay that we got today, and our first little look at customization. I am super hyped for this game and cannot wait to see more. The developers actually said we'll be getting more information about Need for Speed Unbound next week, and it's called Roll the Dice. What do you think it means? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys then with some more Need for Speed Unbound gameplay. See you then. Bye.